Father Michel Rodrigue has recently garnered attention in religious circles for his profound spiritual revelations and prophecies regarding the future of humanity. His predictions speak of a global purification that goes far beyond natural disasters and political turmoil. It's a divine response to humanity's growing distance from God, morality, and divine grace. This purification, Father Michel asserts, is not only inevitable, but is already beginning to unfold before our eyes. For years, Father Michel has been urging believers to prepare themselves spiritually for the coming trials. His message has become increasingly urgent as he warns that the world is entering a period of unprecedented suffering and conflict. According to his revelations, humanity will face intense physical and spiritual challenges as part of a divine correction. These catastrophic events, though difficult to comprehend, are seen by Father Michel as God's direct response to the moral decay plaguing the world. One of the most alarming aspects of Father Michel's predictions is the inevitable eruption of wars and conflicts. He has repeatedly pointed to current global issues as early signs of the purification process already in motion. For example, he has highlighted the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, seeing it as a precursor to even more devastating confrontations. But his warnings don't stop there. Father Michel also speaks of the mounting tensions between Israel and Iran, which could ignite a prolonged conflict in the Middle East, with global consequences. Additionally, Father Michel warns of an unexpected surprise attack from North Korea. This attack, he claims, will come at a time when the world least expects it, and will be a divine response to humanity's moral failings and disobedience. These conflicts, Father Michel insists, are not simply political or military events. They are part of a broader spiritual purification process aimed at restoring peace between humanity and God. While these events may seem like random disasters or political crises, Father Michel stresses that they are not coincidences. Rather, they are signs of God's purifying hand at work, responding to widespread immorality, the rejection of Christian values, and humanity's growing indifference toward the teachings of Christ. These trials are meant to awaken humanity from its spiritual slumber and call people back to faith and righteousness. In light of these coming challenges, Father Michel has consistently emphasized the importance of spiritual preparation. Since 2018, his messages have urged believers to strengthen their relationship with God, to seek reconciliation, and to be ready for the physical and spiritual hardships that lie ahead. The time to prepare is now, he insists, as the purification process is already underway. Father Michel's prophecies remind us that the world is in a time of reckoning, where the consequences of humanity's moral choices will come to fruition. But in these turbulent times, his message is clear. The faithful must remain steadfast, seek divine protection, and be prepared for the purification ahead. This period is not only a test of endurance, but an opportunity for spiritual growth and renewal. Thank you for watching this video till the end. What are your thoughts on Father Michel's prophecies? Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell icon for updates, and share your reflections in the comments below. Father Michel Rodrigue's urgent call, the power of the Eucharist, confession, and prayer for spiritual survival. Greetings, and may the grace of Christ accompany you today. We are deeply grateful for your presence in this video, and we encourage you to subscribe to our channel to stay connected and informed about spiritual insights and prophetic revelations. As you watch, open your heart to the wisdom shared and join us on this sacred journey to understanding. Father Michel Rodrigue, a contemporary spiritual guide, has become widely known for his prophetic warnings and deep spiritual insights, especially concerning the approaching purification of the world. A key aspect of his message revolves around the vital role of the Eucharist, prayer, and confession in spiritual preparation for the trials to come. According to Father Michel, these sacred practices are not just optional, they are essential for surviving the imminent purification process that will affect all of humanity. The Eucharist, a source of strength in times of crisis. Father Michel emphasizes that regular participation in the Holy Mass and the reception of the Eucharist are central to fortifying one's soul. For him, the Eucharist is more than a ritual. It is a source of grace and strength that nourishes believers in their most difficult moments. While many Catholics traditionally view Sunday Mass as the cornerstone of their spiritual life, Father Michel advises the faithful to attend Mass daily if possible. He believes that in the face of impending trials, daily communion with Christ is crucial for staying spiritually strong and aligned with God's will. In times of spiritual turmoil, Father Michel argues, the Eucharist provides protection. It is the body and blood of Christ, offered to nourish our souls, and it serves as a shield against the evils of the world. For him, frequent participation in the Eucharist keeps us in a state of grace, offering divine protection as we prepare for the purification that will come. Confession, a life confession for divine protection equally important to Father Michel, is the sacrament of confession. He underscores the necessity of making a life confession, which means honestly and completely confessing all of one's sins throughout one's life. Father Michel teaches that being in a state of grace, cleansed of sin, is essential for receiving God's protection during the coming purification. Only by acknowledging and repenting for all past wrongdoings can one truly prepare for the challenges ahead. Father Michel encourages people to engage in frequent confession, ideally on a monthly basis, as a way of maintaining a clear conscience and a pure heart. For those who have not yet made a thorough confession of their life's sins, he advises taking the time to do so as a means of spiritual renewal. It is through this sacrament, he believes, that we invite God's mercy and prepare our souls for whatever may come. Living the full gospel, rejecting mediocrity, and embracing holiness, one of the key tenets of Father Michel's message is the rejection of mediocrity in the spiritual life. He calls on Christians to live the full gospel, not merely by avoiding sin, but by actively embracing holiness and virtuous living. This means praying for others, including our enemies, and offering intercession for those in positions of leadership, especially the priests and bishops who lead the church. Father Michel is particularly concerned about the attack on the church, especially the priests, who he believes are under spiritual siege. As a response, he encourages the faithful to lift up the clergy in prayer, asking for divine protection and guidance. These spiritual leaders, he teaches, are key in guiding the faithful through the difficult days ahead, and it is the duty of all Christians to pray for them. The Holy Family, a sanctuary for the home. Father Michel places a strong emphasis on the importance of the family in spiritual preparation. In his teachings, the family is not just a domestic unit. It is a spiritual entity that must be consecrated to God in order to survive the trials of purification. He encourages families to consecrate themselves to the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. This consecration provides spiritual protection and is an act of trust in God's providence. He recommends that every home display a sacred image or symbol of the Holy Family, whether it be a statue, a painting, or a permanent nativity scene. Such symbols act as powerful reminders of God's presence and protection. According to Father Michel, when a family dedicates itself to the Holy Family, it invites divine protection into the home, shielding it from spiritual and physical harm during turbulent times. Transforming your home into a spiritual haven. Father Michel also speaks about the idea of creating a spiritual haven within the home. This concept involves turning one's living space into a sanctuary of prayer and holiness. He advises using sacred objects, such as blessed salt and exorcised water, to consecrate the home. By saying a specific prayer of consecration, families can invite God's blessing and protection into their homes, transforming them into a refuge from the evils of the world. This process of consecration, Father Michel explains, can turn any home into a safe haven, a place where the family can find peace, comfort, and spiritual strength in the midst of the coming trials. He believes that this simple act of blessing and dedication can safeguard the home from the forces of darkness and ensure that it remains a place of light and hope. Spiritual fortification. Preparing for the purification. The essence of Father Michel's message is clear. To endure the purification ahead, believers must fortify themselves spiritually. This is not a time for complacency, but for actively engaging with the sacraments of the Church, especially the Eucharist, confession, and prayer. Through these means, Father Michel teaches, we can remain in a state of grace, protected from the challenges that will soon arise. For families, this spiritual fortification extends beyond the individual. Father Michel urges families to come together in prayer and devotion, to dedicate their homes to God, and to live according to his plan. Only by doing so will they find the strength to weather the storm of purification that is coming. A final call. Preparing for the days ahead. Father Michel Rodriguez's teachings are not simply a call to action. They are a spiritual lifeline for those who wish to survive and thrive in the days ahead. Through the Eucharist, confession, prayer, and family consecration, we can prepare ourselves for the trials that lie ahead. Father Michel's message is one of profound urgency, but also one of hope. In these turbulent times, we are reminded that our faith, our prayer, and our spiritual practices are not only the means of surviving, they are the means of thriving. Through our connection to the Holy Family, our commitment to holiness, and our active participation in the sacraments, we can find divine protection and grace as we navigate the purification process. Thank you for staying with us through this video. What are your thoughts on Father Michel Rodrigues' call to live a life rooted in the Eucharist, confession, and prayer? How will you prepare spiritually for the trials ahead? Please leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on future videos. God bless. Father Michel Rodrigues' teachings provide a profound sense of comfort and direction for those seeking safety in these turbulent times. He emphasizes, however, that true protection is not guaranteed by simply residing in a spiritual sanctuary. While consecrated homes and properties can serve as safe havens, the key to unlocking the full protective power of these refuges lies in the spiritual state of the individuals living within them. Only those who remain in a state of grace and adhere to the teachings of Christ will experience the divine protection that such sanctuaries offer. Those who live in defiance of God's commands, no matter the physical safeguards around them, will not enjoy the same level of security or peace. Father Michel's understanding of spiritual refuges extends beyond just the home. He suggests that those with gardens or land should also consider anointing their property with exorcised salt as a form of spiritual protection. The act of consecrating not only the home, but the surrounding land serves as a powerful shield against the forces of darkness. Additionally, he asserts that God will guide his faithful to permanent places of safety, areas that are specially watched over by angels. Those who are being called to these divine sanctuaries will receive a clear sign, a small flame or tongue of fire appearing above their heads. This miraculous sign will indicate that they are being directed to move to a new location that has been chosen for their protection. Among Father Michel's most significant prophecies is the warning, or the illumination of conscience. This supernatural event, he explains, will allow every person on earth to see their soul as God sees it. During the warning, individuals will undergo an intense period of introspection, where they will come face to face with the truth of their spiritual state. The impact of this moment will be overwhelming. Every person will become acutely aware of their sins and the consequences of those sins. However, Father Michel reassures us that the warning will not just be a moment of terror and despair. It will be an unprecedented opportunity for repentance, a divine intervention that will allow the world to turn back to God. It is, in Father Michel's words, a historic moment for humanity. While Father Michel is aware of the exact date of the warning, he is forbidden from revealing it. Nonetheless, he assures the faithful that this pivotal event is drawing near and will take place within a few months. Those who are sincerely following God and accepting this moment as a gift of divine mercy will be spared from the punishments that will follow the warning. The opportunity for conversion and redemption will be presented to all, but those who choose to reject God's love and mercy, despite the grace of the warning, will face the consequences of their choices. Father Michel's counsel is as much a warning as it is a call to action. His message emphasizes the urgency of preparing both physically and spiritually for the purification that is soon to unfold. This purification, he believes, is an unavoidable part of God's plan for humanity, an act of divine correction for a world that has turned away from its Creator. To endure these challenging times, individuals, families, and communities must be firmly rooted in faith and grace. Only through diligent practice of spiritual disciplines, such as prayer, confession, consecration, and the construction of spiritual shelters, can one shield themselves and their loved ones from the difficulties of the end times that Father Michel has prophesied. Ultimately, Father Michel's message is one of hope. For those who prepare their souls, who remain committed to God, and who trust in His mercy, there is peace and shelter to be found amidst the coming storm. The purification that lies ahead may seem daunting, but those who have fortified their spirits will find protection, comfort, and guidance through divine grace. It is not too late to begin this journey to embrace the spiritual disciplines Father Michel teaches, and to trust that God's loving providence will see His faithful through the trials that are to come. Thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey. Your involvement and presence add weight and meaning to this exploration of faith. May you find hope and strength in these teachings, and may they guide you as we face the challenges of the days ahead together.